Welcome everyone. This is, as some of you may know me, Vpzneox, and this is not quite a video that I was planning to make. It is more something that really happened, and I just wanted to talk about subject that really got to me. I'm going to talk about customer support of DC Universe Online and my story of basically contacting them and the whole story that happened before it. So first of all, pre-story. And before I go into details on what actually has been happening, I can just give a few words and say that in this video particularly I am not looking to defame any developer. I am trying to just tell my story, but saving privacy of everyone involved, which means my privacy, which means the privacy of everyone who has been responding to my requests in customer service. So I will be trying to show you as much evidence as possible without invading anyone's privacy, which means I'll have to just not blur out, but I guess I'll just draw the marker, the effect over certain details that might identify someone or compromise someone's identity. So hopefully you understand the whole story anyway, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And just so you know, I wanted to state ahead, DC Universe Online is an amazing MMO in terms of gameplay, and I really got into it over the 14 years that I've been playing with my league mates and other people, and it's been a long journey so far. So yeah, let's try and get into this. Okay, let's get started. So with the pre-story, how does it go? On the 25th of June 2025, everything described in the video is happening obviously in the year of upload, which is 2025. At 7:30 AM I received an email which stated, reset your password. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. You forgot, misstepped, you just want to start over. We received your request to reset your password and we can help. This is for your Daybreak account, including my name for the account, and it had a link, create a new password. Heads up, Daybreak will only reset your password 3 times within 24 hours. Be sure to take a note of your new password. We hope this comes as no surprise. However, if you didn't make this request, be sure to contact Daybreak customer service immediately and we'll get to the bottom of it. And guess what? This is exactly what I did. I contacted DCUO customer support, well, to be more precise, Daybreak customer support, and I've left them a message which stated, hello, I'm writing in regards to a very disturbing matter. I received an email that says, then I copy-pasted the email itself, and I added that now, assuming it's the real Daybreak Games email, since my username mentioned is correct, I think someone is trying to steal my account. As advised in the email, could you please look into it, because I have my suspicions, but I don't want to place blame on anyone before I know it's true. Thank you, and then I put my username underneath. PS, I specified one of the just to prove it is really me. However, I'm worried someone is trying to commit identity theft, please investigate as soon as possible. And I named the ticket or request, however you want to call it. Somebody has sent password reset request, which I did not ask for, because obviously I didn't ask for the password reset early in the morning because I knew my password and my username. So I received an automated email as a reply, which stated on the same day at 10:02 a.m. that you have submitted a ticket outside of our regular hours. We do not currently offer evening or weekend support for this service. Don't worry, we're still going to help you. Your ticket has been placed in our queue and will be addressed as soon as possible. Please remember that all tickets are responded to in the order received. Yes, that's understandable. I said to that, hello, thank you for your response, but that is quite an urgent matter. I'd appreciate it if you looked into it. Thank you. And then again signed it. Then one of the customer support seniors, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I'm afraid, so I'm just gonna call them senior, replied, and they said, greetings, if you did not receive a message stating the password was changed, I wouldn't worry too much. It is more likely a user entered the wrong username on the website and you received the message. It looks like you already have the two-step authentication set up on your account, and the password can only be changed if someone has access to your phone. And that right there is the first time they actually stated it. This will be more important later on. Thank you for your patience and Thank you for your patience and understanding. Take care and have a nice day. So basically, I set up the two-step authentication or two-factor authentication as soon as I received the email, because that is what the article advised me to do. And after such reply, I was a little bit not even worried, but concerned that they took it a little bit too lightly, because it was a matter of security of the account. So it said in the original email that we hope this comes as no surprise. However, if you didn't make this request, be sure to contact Daybreak customer service immediately and we'll get to the bottom of it. So that was the first kind of surprise from them. So what I replied with was, good evening, I realize the DCUO support resources might be better used elsewhere from the owner's point of view. However, I really doubt anyone would have another account with one letter difference from then my username. Either way, I know certain people who I came across inside the game, and I do have suspicions of them taking interest in getting hands on my account, especially since they saw progress on my multiple in-game characters. About that a little bit later. Still, if there's going to be no investigation, can I at least confirm that there is no way of acquiring or I meant changing my password without having my secret answer or access to my phone? Thank you, and then I signed. Obviously I mistyped and forgot the word change my password, but I thought it was kind of obvious, so that was my concern, to protect my account, and that was my concern that I was targeted specifically. Why was I thinking like that? Because basically in the game I was selling such a thing you might have come across as raid resets, and those raid resets are usually sold for the currency called replay badges, and I was selling those resets. Obviously I acquired all the replay badges legally, partially through membership, partially through Daybreak Cash. If you know what I'm talking about, then you probably played the game for a while now, and that's basically part of the gameplay. So someone might have just been wondering, why does this guy have so much currency that is pay to win or whatever? I don't know. I'm just guessing there, but basically I'm thinking that somebody was targeting my account because they knew the character or several characters from which I was selling the raid resets, and they were not something that anyone could just sell, so they took interest in my account. And then, apologies, anyway, had a phone call from some unknown number. So basically what I'm saying is, after that question about possibility of acquiring access to my account, to my password, and or changing it, I received a reply stating that, well, that's a bit interesting because it just said, "Thank you for your feedback and understanding. Feel free to contact us again if you have any other concerns," which I kind of didn't receive my didn't have my question answered. So I was given a link, how do I keep my account secure, and they said, "Take care and have a nice day. Best regards, in your customer support." So that was the end of that. Now, straight away, the whole thing would probably be avoided if they probably looked into the issue and they took precautionary measures, because I surely did. I set up a two-factor authentication, and I followed advice. I did not, obviously click on that link to reset the password in the email because I did not ask for it, and I was just trying to push the issue forward, but it got me to nowhere really, because they probably thought it wasn't as important because it was just a typo on someone's end when trying to recover a password. So there we go, that's a pre-story. So we move on to the 4th of July. Yay. Well, for some it may be a celebration. For me it was a morning panic message, because on 4th of July at 4:30 AM I received an email, "Your password has been changed," from the same email, "Do not reply at daybreakgames.com." And you said, "Hello, your password has been changed. It's a good idea to update your password periodically. Safety first. Be sure to use the new password the next time you log in." Very ironic that they used safety first after the password was already changed. And it said, "We hope this comes as no surprise. However, if you didn't make this change, be sure to contact Daybreak customer service immediately and we'll get to the bottom of it." Which was, I suppose, another misinformation, because what happened afterwards, oh, well, I'm about to tell you. So, what did happen afterwards? I immediately submitted a ticket or request, as you might want to call it. "My account has been compromised, in brackets, urgent." The message was as follows: "As I stated in my other ticket, someone has been actively targeting my account. I woke up today to get the message in my email." And the email was quoted. Then I added that I had my two-factor authentication with my mobile, and as I checked, I received no SMS text messages. The email came in on the 4th of July, today, at 4:30. I immediately changed my password so that I could get my account back. As I logged in, I noticed the last logged in character was not the same as I had before. I will now check if everything as it should be. I forgot is as it should be because I was in a hurry on the character and on my account. Could you please get to the bottom of it immediately? Last time I was advised it was by mistake and this is what happened. Please revert all the changes since 4:30 a.m. today, UK time, on my account. Thank you very much. Now, did I really believe they could just back up the character to a particular time? 50-50, but when I wrote, like, when I posted this request, this ticket, and I've literally described everything I did, and I did it at 8:49 a.m. It was about 4 hours and 19 minutes since I was basically compromised. My account was compromised on DC Universe Online, and believe it or not, I managed to change my password at 8:34, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, or 8:30 something basically. So I did and posted exactly the truth, because I didn't even have time to check all my characters and inventory and currencies and whatnot, because I needed to write to the Daybreak Games support, or this customer service, however you want to call it, immediately, as the email advised. And after that, I looked around and I added the following message. Okay, at first glimpse, I lost all my cash on characters and someone rearranged my items in the inventory, if not sold some of them. Now, just to clarify, I didn't lose cash on all of my characters, but I did lose all my cash on multiple characters, or at least most of them. So I chose my words carefully because I didn't want to send misinformation. So then I specified what got lost on which character as an example, and I said just on such and such character all my items have been rearranged. Also, I lost all my cash, had around 1 billion plus cash on that character alone. I hope you can recover everything and get to the bottom of it. Thank you. And I really hoped they could recover everything in terms of currencies at least. I was sure it was possible, especially because it was only 4 hours past and 4 hours and several minutes past. My account got compromised, and I attached some screenshots as a proof. And that was at 9:07 a.m. At 9:32 a.m. I added another information. Also, I just noticed some of the items from my bank account on such and such character seem to have been reorganized randomly too. Once again, please restore to the point before 4:30 today. Notice I said before 4:30 because that is normally the time after which basically 4:30 is the time the server goes up, or some servers go up. So Yeah. Then I went on to explain the history, which they probably know anyway, but nevertheless, I stated, I spent more than 14 years following and playing the game, been a lifetime subscriber, set up a two-factor authentication, sent a ticket with my concerns regarding password reset, and still I get problems like that. I cannot possibly express with words how much stress it has caused me from the morning I woke up and saw that email. I'm not in any way asking for compensation though, so I just wanted to explain to them that I'm not having a go at them or anything. I'm just asking them if they could please restore things to how they were. So that's what I said. Please, please, could you restore just the things that were on my account before? Thank you. And then I signed. I received an automated email saying, hi, you have submitted a ticket outside of our regular hours. We do not currently offer evening or weekend support for this service. Don't worry, we're still going to help you. So the usual stuff that they are unable to respond straight away. And I said to that, I understand. Thank you for your reply. Please, as long as everything is returned to its previous state, it's alright. I'm more than happy to wait. And then I signed again. At 4:35 p.m. on the 4th of July, I received a reply from the same, as far as I understood, customer support senior as was on the original ticket. More about that later on. So it said, greetings, for security reasons we are unable to address your account issues without first verifying your identity. Please respond with all of the following information. They asked me for date of birth, name on the credit card, the last 4 digits on the credit card used on the account, billing address, and phone number. Please keep the format above. This will enable us to process your request more efficiently. Thank you for your patience. Regards, Senior Customer Support. Now, as you can see, I obviously marked over the private information, but I replied in about 13 minutes because I happened to just check over whether there was any reply, because I wanted to frankly get back to the game at some point that day. So I replied, date of birth, name of credit card, the last 4 digits of credit card with explanation, billing address with explanation, phone number, and I said, thank you for your response, please restore my account to how it was. Then I realized I made a typo. I said, pardon me, I meant this. I can provide further proof if needed. Then this is where things got confusing, because I received a reply saying, we can see that the account is security locked and the password cannot be changed unless someone has access to your phone number. So first of all, my account was not security locked. I could still log in and check my characters at that point. So that's another misinformation. Then, as far as I understood at least, because as far as I understand, security locked means you can't log into your own account while it's being investigated. That was not the case. Then the password cannot be changed unless someone has access to your phone number. So I could change my password according to them, but not anyone else, unless I shared information from my phone or gave my phone to someone or in any way compromised the information that was on my phone only. And they said, account security is the responsibility of the account owner and we won't be able to assist. Then it just gave me a link to how do I keep my account secure, and thank you for your patience and understanding. Best regards, Senior Customer Support. The reason why I thought that was the same person is not just because of the way they wrote it and the way they gave the same link, but frankly because it was the same, not alias, but I guess nickname that was used. So, as I stated before in the beginning of the ticket, I never got a text message even to begin with, so I don't know how they figured that I could share any information from my phone when I never even received it. But even if I did, why would I share it with anyone? Why would I want my account to be hacked? I never did that. Firstly, because I'm not stupid. Secondly, because I never got the text message to begin with. Even if I was stupid, there was no way for me to share it, because there was nothing there. Okay, so I replied, oh, I totally realize I have my phone connected now. And if you have read what I have stated in my message, I have my two-factor authenticator with my mobile, and as I checked I received no SMS text messages, then you will realize it is not on my end at all, so it's quite alright. I can even send you a screenshot. These are the only 2 times I had received code. Once when I set up my phone number two-factor authentication on 25th of June at 0:05 GMT, and the second was today, 4th of July at 0:33 GMT. I forgot to mention AM, but I hope they realized that it was pretty much the same time when I first posted the ticket. So yeah, at 8:33 GMT, when I found that my email, that my password was changed, and I had to change it again. So when someone else changed my password somehow, I got no text message on my phone, and if I did receive it, I would notify Daybreak Games support immediately. So I'm not going to give anyone my login code from SMS, and I never did. So this means the error was on Daybreak Games and 100%. Now please don't make it any more difficult for anyone. If you need any more proof of my ID, I'm happy to show you. Otherwise, please restore all my account to the point before someone managed to get access to it. Thank you. As you can see, I'm being as transparent, honest, and blatant, like, I don't know how much more I could have explained the situation to them. And I was worried from that point on that something was off, obviously, because there was too much misinformation going on, not just from their emails, automatic replies that will get to the bottom of it and stuff, but from the replies to my previous ticket, when someone wanted to change my password but didn't manage to. They said, unless they have access to your phone, they can't change your password. And that is not true, because they did. And I didn't give my phone to anyone. I live alone in my flat. So I even sent a proof of my text message from Daybreak Games to them. Obviously the codes were expired, so I didn't expose myself or anything. I just sent it to them as a proof that I only received 2 text messages from them ever. One when I actually set up two-factor authentication, and the second time when I had to reset my password after it was basically compromised. So after that, I waited and waited for about 3-4 hours. Yeah, at 8:14 p.m. I posted this reply. On July the 5th, after midnight at 12:02 a.m., the same senior customer support has replied. We tested the 2-step authentication and it is working as intended. Unfortunately, account support cannot assist with any in-game issues, and you need to submit a new separate ticket for the in-game support with the correct account, character, server, and the GMs might be able to assist. Take care and good luck. Now, what would you do if someone asks you to do the whole process again after they ask for confirmation that it was me, the explanation for the verification of my account and everything, and they said that after everything explained, none of that basically happened because we tested the two-step authentication and it is working as intended. Well, I'm really glad that it is working as intended. Then your intention is clearly to leave the customer vulnerable to compromised accounts, to have their accounts stolen, even with the two-factor authentication. So I don't know what they're getting at there, because either that, or they're probably calling me a liar, that I somehow photoshopped the whole screenshot from my mobile, and I don't know what they're thinking, but what I've told them was 100% the truth. So when I read that in the morning, I firstly couldn't reply to the ticket anymore because it was closed, and secondly they asked me for the review of the reply, to which I obviously said this request has been rated as bad, I'm unsatisfied. I clicked that I'm unsatisfied and I added new ticket incoming. Having been very rudely brushed off, I believe the matter needs to be looked at properly. So I submitted another ticket. This time I submitted it to the GM as suggested, and I named it an urgent matter, in brackets, please help me recover my characters. And I explained the whole situation. I'm just gonna leave it on the screen. It's basically running over the whole situation. The key factor was that customer support assistant has told me specifically. Again, I mistyped because I was in a hurry and I was really worried that the time is being wasted. So yeah, I should have just said customer support assistant has advised me specifically. I wouldn't worry too much. It is more likely a user entered in the wrong username on the website and you received the message, even though I asked very specifically to investigate the issue and explain that my username is not that common. And in addition, the same customer support assistant added, it looks like you already have the two-step authentication set on your account, and the password can only be changed if someone has access to your phone, which turned out to be not true. And then I explained why that was not true. So I've basically explained the whole situation. And I asked that I sent the proof of everything in my request. I'm missing multiple items, some are replaced with items I've never seen in my inventory before, and most importantly, all of the characters I checked so far have 0 in-game balance, which was true because I didn't check all of them yet. But some of them had a few 100,000 or something like that at the most. And that was pretty much the story that I told in the second ticket. I asked them, please, could you get to the bottom of the matter ASAP? and restore my account on both servers. This is my last hope of recovering the account to a proper state via customer support before I consider taking any further action about the matter. And then I added, by the way, it all feels only so more incredibly annoying and disheartening to have the situation like that after the senior customer support answer to my query in the request, where I asked to investigate and they brushed me off the first time. And I asked them basically, still, if there is going to be no investigation, can I at least confirm that there is no way of acquiring and or changing my password, because I missed the word changing, without having my secret answer to access or access to my phone? To which I received a reply, thank you for your feedback and understanding, feel free to contact us again if you have any other concerns. That in itself demonstrates to me the poor level of attention to the customers in need. Maybe all of the situation could be avoided if investigation happened and / or action was taken before the password was changed by someone else. I know I've been going a bit harshly on that matter because particularly I didn't ask like the proper question myself. I forgot the word changed, so maybe they didn't understand the question, but that's just the details. The thing is that they didn't want to investigate it properly. So I added at the end, once again, I'm very stressed with the whole situation. I have spent a lot of time and resources on my characters, and so far I have been nothing but honest with the information and evidence I provided. Could you please restore everything on my account as it was before someone decided to change the password? Thank you. Guess what happened? Nothing happened. Apart from request being closed for comments, and status was changed to solved. I didn't get any reply whatsoever this time, not even notification by email that request got resolved. Why is anyone's guess. So in an attempt to verify that I'm doing things in the right order and correctly, I went to the forum, in particular to the Task Force X exploit reports section, and I posted the following. Not sure where else to post, someone compromised my account, because I was that desperate to get a reply about what is actually going on at this point. And I said, straight away, apologies if it's not the right place to post, but I made several support tickets, one about account attempt of password change on my account, unsuccessful, and one about my account later being actually compromised. My password got changed by someone else. After no success, I'm trying to make a final ticket at, and gave the link. I just noticed it's marked as sold with no reply. Can I please confirm if it's been looked at or can nothing be done? I'm totally lost. Thank you beforehand. And I signed. What I got as a reply was a rich and very self-explanatory and very understandable. Okay, I said I won't be defaming much, but or defaming at all, but I couldn't resist the sarcasm there. Basically, I got a link about their account security policy from a developer. No hello, no goodbye, no explanation, just account security policy link. To which I replied, alright, thank you for your reply. Can you please advise on what exactly I am supposed to do now? I already submitted 2 tickets. I proved my identity in that one. The next ticket was to GM, as apparently advised by customer support from previous ticket. Gave the link. It got marked as solved. I never got any update or reply on it. I never shared any details on my account credentials, nor did I share any text messages from my phone, not to mention I have never received one on when my account was actually compromised. I checked last night, none of my characters were restored in terms of cash or items. The shared currency, such as stabilizers and quarks, is now much less than it was before incident on 4th of July. If you are not familiar, then stabilizers are basically the currency that can be earned or bought for real-life currency. Quarks can be obtained by opening the special so-called time capsules, not exactly logboxes, but something that can be opened for the stabilizers. So just a bit of explanation to those who don't play DCUO that often, but anyway. Then I added, what shall I do? As far as I understood, there is no point recovering the username or password since I know them already. Do I submit another ticket? I just want to get back to the game and it's been a dead end everywhere for almost a week now. Thank you beforehand. The reason why I specified about no point recovering username and password was because I read the account security policy link that they sent to me, and it said you will have to recover your username or password if your account is compromised. So obviously I knew my username and I knew my new password, but there was still no update on what's going on. So it was no use to me. I already sent the tickets from my account, but nothing was happening. Do I need to explain that I didn't get a reply to the forum post? I think not. I didn't get anything from there. It was just ignored, just like the previous ticket. So I made one final attempt and made another ticket, which was a follow-up from the previous one, and it was obviously automatically called an urgent matter, please help me recover my characters. And I explained, this is a follow-up to your previous request, an urgent matter, still waiting on some sort of resolution for request. And what I wrote was, it's been going on for almost a week now due to my account being compromised by someone. I have submitted multiple tickets, checked every day so far. I'm still missing my cash. It says $0 on multiple, if not all characters. At least on, give some examples of my characters. And so on. I'm still missing stabilizers. I had 302 if I remember correctly before incident on the 4th of July. Now 99. Still, my inventories are messed up and reorganized on all characters. Some currencies were spent as well, as I noticed. And last but not least, my quark count is much lower than I had. Can't remember exact number. That was true. I didn't keep a record of my quark number, but it was definitely over what it was left with after my account compromised. So, then I wrote, also, please update the request, added the previous request's number, appropriately. It's been marked as solved, but no reply, and forum reply from developer was just linked to a security policy, which I have been following from my end. If there must be an investigation from with temporary account lock, so be it, but please notify me of what's happening. There has been no reply anywhere now for far too long. Thank you. And at last, I got the first adequate reply, more or less adequate, from Game Master GM, which stated, greetings, this is GM, such and such. As account security is the responsibility of the account owner, we are unable to replace any characters or items that are lost as a result of account sharing or allowing your account to be compromised, or reverse any purchases that were made on your account. I know this is not the answer you were hoping to hear, and I hope that it does not cause you too much disappointment. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to contact us again. Safe travels, Daybreak Games. Now, I don't know how much reading this person did, because I clearly stated in my previous tickets that it's brought me a lot of distress and a lot of disappointment, but at least he read something, because he gave a reply based on updated situation, to which I said, hello, thank you for a somewhat satisfactory and quick reply, but before that request is solved and forgotten, I would like to know if there is any way that it could be investigated. I have been waiting on reply for a long time, and yes, I know the account security is my responsibility. However, I was advised to seek GM about restoring my items. Can at least some currencies and cash be restored? So at this point, I didn't even mention that it was not on my end that the fault of security occurred and that it was on their end that account got compromised. I just wanted to make sure we come to some sort of agreement at least. So I added, it does really cause me a lot of disappointment since I've honestly spent years in the game and having most of it disappear in about 4 hours because someone somehow bypassed security system seems a bit worrying. Thank you again. And that's where I left it at, pretty much, because it was clear they would not restore anything on my characters at this point, but I had to give it a shot anyway. I did everything I could. Everything you saw and heard in the video was 100% the truth from my end. What Daybreak Games is doing, in my opinion, is they're trying to keep away from the fact that their system is not secure. In fact, if I did not set up a two-factor authentication with my mobile, they probably would restore something on my account. That's the irony. So if I didn't follow their advice, their official advice, and didn't have my mobile attached to the account, they wouldn't blame me for having the account compromised. So it's like a closed circle. If you don't follow the advice on their website, then you are not following the security measures, and it's your responsibility. If you do follow them and you somehow get hacked, then they blame you because they believe, or they prefer to believe, that it wasn't their fault because it's impossible to hack or compromise the account without having somebody's phone number, even though I didn't receive a text message. I said it 100 times before, I'll say it again. I did not receive a text message at night when my password got changed by someone else. So there you have it. Be very, very careful. Do not rely on the promise of being protected on two-factor authentication. I'm not in any way saying don't ever play DCUO, no. The game is brilliant. The gameplay is brilliant. It's probably one of my top 3 MMOs of all time. It's definitely the top MMO ARPG, simply because of combat system and upgrades. But that's a topic for a whole other video, I guess. So all I can say is thank you for watching, and yeah, that's how it's been going. Vpzneox out. Okay, just a little bit of an aftermath. As I was preparing the video materials to put together all the stuff I have been talking about in the video, I got a reply to that ticket, that last ticket, and they said apparently there was some sort of investigation going on, and let's face it, all respect due to the GM who actually bothered to look into the situation, and obviously all respect to the game developers that designed the gameplay and everything, all the people who actually made the models, animations, maps, whatnot. The security in this game needs to improve, obviously. the situation I'm in is probably something of a unique case, but nevertheless it's their job to look into it, so that's why I made this video, just to warn everyone about what can happen. So hopefully you found it useful or entertaining or both, and yeah, thank you for watching. Peace out.